Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ageless Ambition. I'm Jeraine Simmons, your podcast host, where we focus on power, purpose, and reinvention. Today, we have with us Bernice Fynn of AfriPrintz since 2017. She's also a part of various organizations in the community, which also includes African American Culture Collaborative, and then also Black Women New Jersey, where she sits on the board. I am so proud to just have her with me on today. She's actually my first podcast host for Ageless Ambition. Ageless Ambition was created for all women of all ages. You can reinvent yourself at any age. The power is within you. It's purposeful. If God put it in you and God gave you that vision, then you can see it through. So each week we'll meet with various women of various backgrounds and share with you their story and inspire you to step out on water, step in faith, and move into your purpose. So Bernice, thank you for joining me on today. You look beautiful in your AfriPrintz outfit. I love it, love it, love it. Bernice has a room full of AfriPrintz. You can stop by at any time to see her and purchase your items anywhere from necklaces to earrings to capes to hats. She has it all. And she also is a designer where she can design things for you. Please make sure that you visit her website. Bernice, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much, Darren, for having me on here. Like you said, my name is Bernice. I'm the owner of AfriPrintz LLC. And like she said, I started this business to 2017. I originally come from Ghana, and I migrated to United States some years ago. I grew up again in Ghana. Kind of, I won't say middle class. It's between middle class and poor. I'm the oldest of five siblings, and so in an African household, the older girl, did everything. So it was a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure, but that made me who I am today. And yeah, I'm married with three boys, three strong boys. I'm the only queen in my house. My oldest is a Marine, so Semper Fi. I'm a military mom. My middle one is going to be graduating this year, heading to college, and the little one is a sophomore. So yeah, that's a little gist about me.
So, Bernice, you mentioned something about pressure, growing up in a household in Ghana, and you said that pressure actually shaped you into the woman you are today. Can you speak on the pressures that you actually endured?
Right. So I grew up in something called like a compound house. So my grandmother was there, my parents were there. We had other people living in the house. It was a big house. My grandmother, I came to meet my great grandmother, which was a blessing. So I'll start from my great grandmother, who was also an entrepreneur herself. So as a little girl, being the oldest grandchild, my grandmother was in business. My great grandmother was in the village. Here we'll say the country. And then my mom, who was also a business owner. So my mom was into food, street food, I would say. So every summer, being the oldest again, they send me to the village every summer vacation. I go to help my great grandmother who sold fish on the market, right?
Okay.
Pride that I had in helping my grandmother after school. Once I
Mm-hmm.
take my uniform down, I go to help my grandmother. She has to live for the market. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom sold her street food in the evening. So I'm helping uh the business, everybody's business. These are strong women. And the pride I had in especially helping my great grandmother was she looked forward to me coming from the city.
Mm-hmm.
And the nickname they had for me in the village was, oh, the city white girl is here.
Oh, okay.
Because my grandmother had her fish, other people have the fish, but there's going to be this long line. Within an
Mhm.
hour, grandmother's fish is gone because everybody wanted to see the city girl who always come to help her great grandmother.
Oh,
No, they were instilling something in me. Okay. The pressure was I couldn't even do my homework. I get home, put it down, go help my grandma. I get home, gotta go to the market at that tender age. And they expect so much from you as one, the oldest kid, and especially a girl. So you
mhm.
learn everything from the house. There's nothing like, oh no, I'm tired. Oh no, I don't even know that word. Like I'm tired. But who else is gonna do it? So that was some of the pressures that I had to deal with. I loved it at sometimes I didn't want to, but I was the kid, I had to. And I was the oldest too.
Wow, it's amazing to see that you had that strength and that entrepreneurship and the organization that you had to have at such a young age, and how that basically instilled lessons inside of you. It was almost like seeds of wisdom being planted, and it just began to grow and grow and grow. Let's talk about AfroPrintz and what's behind it.
So AfriPrintz, the mission and the vision behind AfriPrintz. So if if you know me for a while, I always represent the culture. It doesn't matter. It could be a head wrap, it could be an earring, it could be
Mhm.
whatever. And I always had a business hustle, side hustle on the side. I've done everything from selling other stuff, from Mary Kay, from whatever. But in Mary Kay, that's when I said it kind of opened my mind. I said, listen, I'm putting money in somebody else's pocket. It's
Right.
about I started my own because I knew I had the gift of pulling people, and then people always complimented what I wore, right? I knew I always knew I'll own my own business one day, but I didn't know what. One day in the shower, that's when the AfriPrintz dream hit me. So I came out of the shower and I was so excited. I called my husband. I said, wait, we're going to be in the business. He said, what? Business? I said, yes. What business? We're going to be an African business, African outfit. I called my seamstress. I said, you ready? She said, for what? I said, we're entering business. Why? Because the excitement, I said, wait, my brothers and sisters in the diaspora,
Mhm.
I'm from, who else is in that position to bring them the authentic culture from the motherland?
Right.
Okay. So I discussed it with the boys. I discussed it with my husband. My boys were a little younger. I called my friend in Iceland who owned an African shop. Her shop is Afro Zone. So I said, girl, we're going to be in business. She said, yeah. I said, but I need a name. She said, a name. I said, yes, I know it has to do something with Africa,
Mhm.
and it has to do something with the print. So we started Afro this, Afro this, Afro this, Afro. We were going like 20. I think on the 19th, that's when I said, wait, she said Afro print. And I said, I like that. But the print was with an S. And I said, I want something different. Why
Right.
don't we change that S to a Z? So Africa, we have the print, but the Z makes the difference. The birth of AfriPrintz.
Right, right, right. I love it. I love it. I love it. How you basically said that you were in the shower and at that moment. And I believe that, God has divine timing for everything that we do. And he just dropped that purpose, that vision inside you, and you just ran with it. In 2017, it was birth. Okay. So let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about how you had to navigate in the beginning in 2017 all the way up to 2026, how you had to navigate the different pressures of entrepreneurship, of life, of basically being a mom and then a mom and a wife navigating through business?
Yeah, see, so I would say we all have gifts that God has given us.
Mm-hmm.
Those gifts, once you identify the gift, you have to be ready to do the work, right?
Right.
Once that I had that kind of epiphany in that shower. So now I came out, I said, okay, now we have to sit and strategize. What are we going to do? Again, I said, all right, we're going to start with a few clothing, about 10 of them. I started from the back of my trunk, right? So I go to church. Everywhere you see me, I say, hey, I got some clothes and some earrings. You know, I was hustling everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 2017, it had just started. I was still working. 3 years down the road, still the business was young. We're still trying to figure out. Well, it was registered. The name was registered. Did everything that we had to do, paperwork. I said, okay, so what are we going to do now?
Okay.
Started hustling, telling friends. I said, tell this person, you tell somebody, right? And then COVID came. Again, 2017, 2020, 3 years, that wasn't that long.
Right.
COVID hit. At that time before COVID, I started having little events. People were started like, okay, you can come to this women's retreat. Uh, Women's retreat, if you want to come. I said, okay, you have to invest in stuff. As a business owner, find out what that you need to invest in. If you don't, that's when I said, oh, I need to have racks if I'm going to events, right? I need
Right.
to figure out how to load. What do I have to take? Da 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 da. All right, I was excited, and then COVID hit. We couldn't go out.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Nobody was having any events, no conventions, no nothing. What are we going to do? Right? I said, God. But that is when I said, God uses people in our lives to manifest what He wants us, the next level that He wants us to be, right? So one of my friends, Lisa has always been in my corner, always believed in my dream. Lisa is like, sis, why don't you try this Facebook Live thing? I said, girl, English is like my fourth language. I can barely speak it. I don't even know colors like that. But she said, your personality alone
Yes.
for it. So then I said, okay, Bernice, one, don't take yourself too seriously, okay? Because people people are drawn to you when you are your authentic self. I didn't know anything about the Facebook Live. Yes, I see people do it. So my first time that I told myself, listen, okay, let's try this. I took some paper, right? I wrote numbers down, right? Girl, those numbers, I didn't even know the numbers were upside down on the other side of the camera. But I was determined. When I showed one, that one looks like an L, the two look like a 5, whatever it is, I didn't really care. But I was excited. And that excitement, I'm like, wait, 10 people are watching me. Oh, 50 people. Oh, now 20 people. Now 30 people in one day. First video. I said, wait a minute. I was just on there to show 10 items.
Mm-hmm.
But see, through the pandemic, God says, I will open doors for you. I was ready to take to go through those doors. I didn't sit and say, now what am I going to do? Am I going to cry? What am I going to do? What would that help? That would not help in any way. But I was ready to listen to that friend that God was using in my life and then take a step. And then here we are. How many years later, a lot of people, AfriPrintz, through my Facebook live show, that if it wasn't the pandemic, I may have not taken a step. So through the pandemic, there were good news, there were bad, and there were good.
Yes, I love it. I love it. The pandemic basically was your segue into technology, and technology, as you're explaining it, was something that you had to get over. You had to get over that fear of just going live, and just showing your personality. And as Lisa said it, your personality, your authentic self, and your purpose is what showed up and brought your audience to you. And you was basically you reached a broader audience because people were tuning in from across the globe into AfriPrintz, and they saw you, they saw your bubbly personality. Because I will tell you that when I came to your home the very first time, you were so welcoming. You had it decorated for Black Women New Jersey, and you had food ready for us, and you were just like really just a beautiful soul. And I can just tell right there that it was going to be a great time, and we had a good time. And then when I went into your basement and I saw, I was like, oh, you're behind AfriPrintz. Never knew. But I used to see all these ladies with these AfriPrintz designs and things like that. So it was just refreshing. And it's a good thing that you actually continue to push through, even though you had your barriers and your apprehension. You continue to push through in faith. And I love that for you and AfriPrintz and the women that you celebrate daily. Okay, so next question. What did you have to overcome to be the woman today? Like, and I'm not the outer part. So we talked about technology and things like that. So what did you have to overcome internally? Because as women, we struggle with that internal self, that it's like me versus me.
So one, I'll say fear.
Mm-hmm.
Two, procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in corporate for 18 years with a big company. And I knew that it was about time to go somewhere else or to do something else. Yes, I had my business on the side, but it got to a point that I said my business needs me full time. And it didn't take a month, it didn't take 2 months. It took a long time for me to prepare myself mentally. I know if you are out there, you are debating, will this work? What if? What if I fail? Well, if you fail, at least you tried, right? Now, I'm not going to say go quit your job. No, you have to have a plan. I had a plan, and I told myself that 2020, believe it or not, during the pandemic, that was my exit plan because I knew that all the frustration, all the unhappiness after giving all these years, which I'm grateful for what I was doing before, it was time. So fear was number one. So I started listening to motivational speakers a lot. Les Brown, I was listening to Denzel, I was listening to Oprah. I started listening. I was at work, I had earpiece in my ear, listening to them, those motivational speakers. Trust me, they do work. So mentally, I had to prepare myself, right? And I'm like, okay, now let's talk about procrastination because I've been procrastinating for a long time. And my to see the frustration and the tiredness when I get home. And they keep asking me, Mommy, so when is going to be the last day? Because we know you're tired.
Right.
We're tired. I had my resignation letter, believe it or not, in my purse for 9 months.
Wow.
Oh God, when that day comes, I know you will let me know. I without a date. So first I dealt with the fear. I dealt with the procrastination when that time came. And it took time. So when that day came, I knew for some reason I had this peace.
Yes.
I had that I walked in that day. I didn't give it 2 weeks notice. Now this is me. I did not give any 2 weeks notice. That was my last day that day. And I was grateful. I was happy. Every talent, every gift that God has given you out there, it's not for you. It's for you to be a blessing unto somebody else.
I love that. Yes.
God has placed that idea of you owning a daycare that you've been procrastinating for 4 years. I don't know who I'm talking to. It's about time, because you are supposed to be a blessing to families who need daycare.
Amen.
That's like our sister is doing, is for you to be able to bless people like me, bringing me on to be a blessing. So you see the ripple effect?
Yes.
To be a blessing unto others. So deal with that fear. Deal with that procrastination. That's what I had to deal with. Maybe yours will be a relationship that you have to get away from, because that relationship is stopping you from fulfilling the dreams and the talents that God has given you. All right. Sometimes maybe it's for you to let go and love people from afar. It's okay. I don't know who I'm prophesying to, but fear and procrastination for me is what I had to deal with internally, to take that bold step, to be the woman that I am today. Those two things.
Yes, I love how you talked about your fear and your procrastination was those internal struggles and the things that actually help motivate you. I remember listening to Les Brown also. I love listening to Jovita Shepherd. I love how you also talked about how you had a plan, you had a vision. You just didn't just go out there. It was prayerfully, it was strategic, and you encourage other women to make sure that you're taking strategic steps, make sure that you have a plan, you have a vision, and you're waiting on God. That's what I hear from you saying, waiting on God to actually give that resignation letter, because God will definitely open up doors for you. And I love that you're encouraging other women to basically just step out there and with a plan strategically and make sure that you are aligning yourself with God. So tell me, Bernice, how do you navigate being a mom now, being a wife, being an entrepreneur? Because I see you at all different types of events. You're in meetings and things like that that's advertised on Facebook. But then at the same time, I'm sure you have to go home, you cook your meals, you have to take care of the kids, you have to pour into them. Then you also have to make time for yourself. How do you navigate that? And what advice can you offer moms and wives out there?
So it's the same 24 hours that we all have. Like I said, I have 3 boys and I'm a soccer mom. My kids started playing soccer at the age of 4, each of them. And they're not just playing recreational. We travel a lot. You just have to be intentional, okay? Being intentional and planning, very, very important. And thank God for the partner that I have. My husband let me be me. I'm very extrovert. A lot of people don't know my husband. He can sit here and not say a word, okay? But he supports me 100%. He allows me to fly like the bird that he wants to see fly. He's the one that will go places. He'll be taking pictures and I'll be dancing. So my partner helps a lot. Yes, meal prep. I plan ahead of time. If you know Africans, we don't just cook for the day. We cook for like 3 days, like big pot. And I have boys who are athletes, and I still go to the games. I don't miss any meet. I was just in TCNJ on Saturday.
Okay.
This Saturday for a track meet. That my middle one won't stop. He's playing soccer, he's doing track, he's doing pole vault, he's doing whatever. But I have to up, right? So it's all about planning and being intentional. I'm being invited to schools to even talk to kids. Yeah, I see council meeting. I have to be there. I put in my calendar. Girl, I have an app to remind me to even drink water as we speak.
Yes, yes, I'm there with you. I'm like, drink your water, drink your water.
Sorry, they said drink my water. So you just have to plan. That 24 hours is not going to change into for just you. But then choose events or plan things that will benefit you. Who are the people, the events that you're going to? Who are you crossing paths with that is going to help you one day? You understand? Who you never know. You'll be in that room, will be an open door for you that day. Right? So my partner helps me a lot. I also help with the boys, but I am present and I'm intentional. I learned how to say no. If I can't also, it's okay to say no. And it's okay that the dishes can wait that day. Nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody, the laundry can wait for another week. Nobody's going to die. So I don't stretch, I don't, stretch myself thin. If I can, I can. If I cannot, I cannot. But I plan everything. I put it on my calendar and I make sure my word, when I tell you I'm going to be there, I am going to be there, and I will show up maybe minutes before, but I'm going to be there. Or minute late, but I am going to be there. So you got to be intentional, plan ahead if it works for you. And yeah, kind of works for me.
Right.
How
I love that. I love that you said intentionality. Basically, you have to be intentional, you have to plan, and you have to have a great support system. And I love that for you, that you have that support system. And you're telling women out there, you need to have a healthy support system and structure at home, especially if you're married and you have children, and you have to be intentional. And no is an answer. I had to learn that no, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to say, this doesn't benefit me in this season. Last season, yes. This season, no, because you have a vision and purpose for your life. And women out there who are, launching themselves in entrepreneurship, I understand you have to educate yourself. That's what I'm hearing from you. Educate yourself, make sure that you're being intentional, make sure that you have a plan, and make sure that you are going into rooms that are going to benefit you and what you are called to do. Every room is not going to be a room that's for you, and you have to be able to discern the difference. Okay, and so as we're wrapping up, I just want to ask you a question, because a lot of us are in that reinvention season, okay? We had the careers, we had the families, and now we want to reinvent ourselves. But sometimes our age is saying, you're too old to actually do that. You're too old to go back and accomplish that vision. What advice would you give to that woman that's struggling with, am I too old to actually accomplish this?
I started a boxing class a month ago.
Okay, I saw you on Facebook.
Listen, I'm 49, I'll be 50 next year. You are not too old to follow your dreams.
Okay.
You are not too old for anything. Now, again, some of the voices, you have to also deal with that. The voices, and even some people. When I started AfriPrintz, I have people who did not believe in me, but I wanted to prove them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I told them, I will prove you wrong. And now they look at me and say, oh my God, I am so proud of you, because I worked and I told them I will prove you wrong. So you are not too old. 50 is like now the new 30.
Yes.
The new 40 right now, okay? Follow your dreams. Again, know that your dream, even though God gave it to you personally, is to be support, is to be what's the word I'm looking for? Is to be a blessing to other people. So you sitting on it because you think, or somebody's telling you you are old, you are blocking somebody else's blessing.
Yes.
And that he's going to ask you that, what did you do with the talent? Oh, you sat on it thinking you're old. I gave you those talents and you sat on it. So no, you are not too old. Like I said, I started a boxing. God, the first night I nearly passed out. I said, Lord. But then I went again, and I went again, and I'm going again. All right?
Yes.
Too old is never too late. It's never too late for nothing. God give us every day a brand new day, okay, to face our challenges, to go for our dreams, everything that he's positioning us, unless you are not ready to take it.
Yes.
If you're not take it, if you're not ready to take that step, we can't help you. Nobody will help you. But once you are ready to take it and ready to do that work, guess what? He aligns. He put people in that. He will bring people in your path, people that you don't know about. I tell you, some of these schools that email me, I don't know that. I haven't met anybody from there. They said,
Right.
oh, we come and tell our students about the culture and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, is this a new, a new exit that God is putting me on? Meanwhile, I'm thinking, oh, I'm just selling clothing, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
I'm just selling accessories. No, he said, no, you're going to branch and be a blessing unto others. So go for it. Forget about your age. Forget about your knee hurts. Maybe it's time to start walking or something. Do something. Okay? But you are not too old to follow your dreams. Go for it because you're supposed to be a blessing unto somebody else.
Yes, I love all of this, Bernice. I love your journey and what you are actually pouring back into women on today, and just basically just educating us and telling us that it's never too late to reinvent yourself. You have power, you have purpose, women, to reinvent yourself and go after your dreams. The only person that's holding you back is yourself. God has purposed you. God has placed that vision inside of you. He has rooted you, and now it's time to just flourish. And I love how you are flourishing into different avenues and just like not putting a glass ceiling over you, because I see you on Facebook and your boxing classes. I seen you in a classroom recently. So God is like, oh, you thought AfriPrintz was it? No, AfriPrintz was basically the root, and now I'm spreading you throughout the globe to basically be a blessing to others. And I love that. I love your journey. I love your story. And I just want to just say thank you for coming on to Ageless Ambition and just sharing who you are, who your authentic self is. And I know that you're going to be a blessing and inspiration to other women. Do you have any last thoughts that you just want to just say to women out there, or a motto or something like cliche to just say to women out there?
Yes, I thank you. Let me finish by saying thank you for having me. I so appreciate you. Uh, and I know that you following your dreams and listening to what God has asked you to do, being a blessing to me. Hopefully, we are both also being a blessing unto somebody else. To women out there, make sure that you find yourself,
Yes.
okay? Once you find yourself, and be happy with who you are, guess what? The sky is the limit. And that
Yes.
is a lot of people are scared of women finding themselves. All right. A lot of people are scared because they know that once you do, oh my God, what else is she going to do? Right now, and I tell mothers, I said, yes, we are mothers, but our life shouldn't revolve around our kids. They're going to grow and they'll be leaving. Once they leave, and then what? My oldest is gone now. The second one is about to leave. Now it's going to be one. In the next 2 years, you'll be gone too. And then what? So once you find yourself and once they are gone, you still have you because it was you before they came in. If it's a family member who is, trying to drag you or trying to be negative or whatever it is, it's okay. I'm loving a lot of family members afar and I'm still being me and it's not hurting me in any way. To the next generation coming up, follow your dreams is very important. You guys, this generation is a whole different ball game. Things that it took us 3 months to know, they know it like a second like that. Listen to your kids, use them. They're smart. If you don't understand, I told my boys, I think I need a TikTok shop for AfriPrint. I don't know how. They said, just Google it. I said, nope, you're going to do it because I know you know it. So
Right.
please
Right.
out to the next generation who are your kids and your children to help you out. Don't be scared to ask for help. Very important. So find yourself. Don't be scared to ask for help. But most importantly, follow your dreams.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And all the listeners out there who's listening, thank you for joining in to listen to the journey of Bernice Fynn and AfriPrintz. Please support her and all her endeavors. And I look forward to our next chat. Everyone, I love you and goodbye.